We know beer and wine as familiar companions to modern life. Yet their journey began thousands of years ago. In the ancient world, these fermented drinks were surprisingly foundational, deeply intertwined with the very fabric of early ritual, community, and emerging civilizations. This is Paragraph on Historia Graphius channel. Here we discuss history in small chunks, a single topic at a time. If you'd like to support this channel, please follow the link in the description. There you will also find book recommendations. Our narrative begins not in fertile agricultural lands, but in the twilight of the last ice age, over 13,000 years ago. In Rakafet Cave, nestled in the Carmel Mountains of present-day Israel, archaeologists unearthed faint traces of humanity's earliest known foray into brewing. The Natufian people, semi-nomadic hunter-gatherers, crafted a rudimentary, beer-like gruel from wild wheat and barley. This was no ordinary meal. The context suggests it was a sacred concoction, brewed for ritual feasts to venerate the dead, a spiritual offering predating the plough. This discovery challenges the long-held notion that agriculture was a prerequisite for alcohol production, suggesting instead that the desire for such transformative substances and the communal experiences they fostered may have been a catalyst for civilization itself. Further east, at Göbekli Tepe in southeastern Turkey, a site that redefines our understanding of the Neolithic, evidence also points to early beer consumption around 10,000 years ago. The construction of Göbekli Tepe's massive, intricately carved megalithic structures by a pre-agricultural society would have demanded extraordinary communal effort. Primitive beer, served at organized feasts, could have been instrumental in uniting the workforce, fostering solidarity, and imbuing the monumental labor with ritual significance. A precursor to its later, well-documented role as sustenance and payment for workers in the great empires. And far across the Asian continent, in the Neolithic village of Jiahu in China, pottery dating back 9,000 years reveals a unique mixed fermented beverage of rice, honey, wild grapes. This discovery underscores that the allure of fermentation was a global phenomenon, with diverse cultures independently harnessing local ingredients to create their own potent brews. From these nascent beginnings, beer evolved into a cornerstone of the first great urban civilizations in Mesopotamia. The Sumerians, pioneers of writing, law, and urban life, held beer in such high esteem that they worshipped Ninkasi, the goddess of brewing. Their hymn to Ninkasi, inscribed nearly 4,000 years ago, is both a devotional poem and a remarkable record of brewing methods, orally transmitting the sacred knowledge of transforming water and grain. In cities like Uruk and Babylon, beer was far more than an intoxicant. It was a life-sustaining liquid bread, a crucial source of calories and nutrients, often safer than untreated water. Archaeological finds from sites like Godin Tepe in Iran provide chemical evidence of dedicated barley beer production by 3500 BCE. Workers received daily rations, temple offerings included copious amounts, and social life, from royal banquets to common gatherings, often involved its consumption, sometimes through reed straws to bypass the unfiltered sediment. Parallel to this, ancient Egypt developed its own profound relationship with beer, or henket. From the pre-dynastic period onwards, Egyptians of all social strata consumed this beverage, brewed primarily from barley and emmer wheat. While wine gained favor among the elite, beer remained the fundamental drink of the common people and the lifeblood of the workforce, famously provided to the laborers who constructed the pyramids. Egyptian tomb paintings vividly depict bustling breweries, and hieroglyphic texts detail numerous beer varieties and their uses, not only in daily sustenance and religious rites, where it was offered to gods and provisioned for the afterlife, but also in medicine, with hundreds of ancient prescriptions incorporating beer as a base or remedy. While grain-based brews nourished the foundational river valley civilizations, a different elixir was taking root in the sun-drenched slopes and fertile valleys of the Caucasus and the Near East: wine. The earliest definitive evidence for wine made from cultivated grapes, Vitis vinifera, comes from the region of modern-day Georgia, dating back an astonishing 8,000 years. Sites like Shilaveres Gora and Gadatrilli Gora have yielded pottery sherds imbued with the chemical signatures of wine. Here, the ancient and unique tradition of Qveveri winemaking was born, fermenting and aging wine in massive, egg-shaped earthenware vessels buried underground. This unbroken practice, recognized today as a UNESCO Intangible Cultural Heritage, offers a living link to Neolithic viticulture. Not far away, in the mountains of Armenia, the Arani 1 cave complex revealed the world's oldest known dedicated winery, a sophisticated operation from over 6,000 years ago. Archaeologists unearthed a remarkably preserved grape press, fermentation vats, storage jars, and even grape seeds and skins, indicating organized, substantial production. The winery's proximity to ritual burial sites suggests wine played a significant role in the spiritual life and mortuary practices of these early highland cultures. Ancient Persia, too, shared in this burgeoning wine culture, with sites like Haji Firuz Tepe showing evidence of resonated wine, an early preservation technique from over 7,000 years ago, underscoring wine's early importance in royal courts and religious ceremonies. The journey of wine from these ancient heartlands across the known world was largely powered by the seafaring Phoenicians from around 1500 BCE. These intrepid traders from the Levant established a vast maritime network, disseminating not just goods, but also grapevines, winemaking knowledge, and the distinctive pottery amphorae used for wine's transport and storage. They introduced viticulture to North Africa, Spain, and Italy, profoundly influencing the cultures that would become the next great champions of wine. Among these were the ancient Greeks, for whom wine was an indispensable element of life, culture, and thought. It was the earthly manifestation of Dionysus, their god of wine, ecstasy, and theatre. Wine fueled the intellectual sparring and artistic expression of the symposium, the iconic Greek drinking party, and was central to religious festivals like the Dionysia. Greek philosophers pondered its qualities, physicians prescribed it, and their colonies spread its cultivation throughout the Mediterranean. The Romans, inheriting and amplifying Greek traditions, became masters of viticulture on an imperial scale. Bacchus, their counterpart to Dionysus, presided over widespread wine consumption. Roman legions carried vine cuttings to the farthest reaches of the empire, transforming landscapes in Gaul, Iberia, and beyond into productive vineyards. They refined techniques, including the use of wooden barrels for aging, and Roman writers meticulously documented agricultural practices. The infamous Bacchanalia, fervent rites in honor of Bacchus, grew so popular and, in the eyes of the authorities, so potentially subversive that the Roman Senate moved to suppress them in 186 BCE, a stark testament to wine's potent social and cultural force. Unraveling these ancient narratives is a testament to modern scientific and historical endeavor. Archaeochemists analyze microscopic residues on pottery shards to identify the specific ingredients of a long-vanished drink. Archaeologists excavate ancient settlements, uncovering the tools, vessels, and agricultural remains that speak of production and consumption. And historians and linguists decipher ancient texts, from cuneiform tablets detailing temple inventories to poetic hymns that offer glimpses into the meaning and context of these beverages. Together, these disciplines reconstruct a vibrant history from the fragments of the past, in tracing the legacies of beer and wine. We see two distinct yet intertwined paths. Beer often emerged as a nutritional cornerstone, a democratic drink accessible to the masses, fundamental to the daily life and economy of early agricultural states. Wine, while also enjoyed widely where cultivated, frequently acquired an aura of prestige, becoming a symbol of status, a valuable commodity in long-distance trade, and a muse for sophisticated cultural expression. Yet beyond these distinctions, both beer and wine served profound human needs, for sustenance, for social cohesion, for spiritual connection, and for the simple joy of altered perception. Their stories are not merely about what our ancestors drank, but how they lived, worshipped, innovated, and built the foundations of our world. The enduring presence of these ancient beverages in our modern lives is a vibrant echo of that deep history, a continuing celebration of a tradition that began with a curious mind, a handful of grain or fruit, and the magic of fermentation.